Good morning, City Council. If you can hear my voice, please log into your e-voting device at this time. Please log in. If you need help or support with your device, please raise your hand. Thank you.
Order. Madam Clerk, please take a quorum roll call.
The quorum is now open. The quorum is now open. Please use your device to submit your present. Your quorum is now open. I will now call for a voice vote for anyone who has not submitted their e-vote. Alderman LaSpada. Alderman LaSpada is present. Alderman Hopkins is not present. Alderman Robinson, not present. Alderman Hall. Alderman Hall is present. Alderman Mitchell. Alderman Mitchell is present. Alderwoman Ramirez. Alderwoman Ramirez is present. Alderwoman Gutierrez, not present. Alderman Lopez. Alderman Lopez is present. Alderwoman Coleman, not present. Alderman Moore. Alderman Moore is present. Alderman Curtis, not present. Alderwoman Taylor, not present. Alderman Mosley, not present. Alderman Rodriguez. Alderman Cardona. Alderman Cardona, not present. Alderman Ramirez Rosa, not present. Alderwoman Metz, not present. Alderman Sposato, not present. Alderman Napolitano. Present. Alderman Napolitano is present. Alderman Gardner, not present. Alderman Martin. Present. Alderman Martin is present. Alderwoman Mana Hoppenworth, present. Alderwoman Silverstein, not present. Alderman Mosley. Alderman Mosley is present. Anyone I missed? Okay. The quorum is now closed.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. There are 37 members present. We do have a quorum. Alderman Mike Rodriguez is requesting to participate remotely due to a medical emergency. Alderman Raymond Lopez, do you wish to make a motion?
Good morning, Mr. President. I move to allow Alderman Rodriguez the opportunity to participate remotely.
All in favor of allowing Alderman Mike Rodriguez to participate remotely signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, please add Alderman Mike Rodriguez a part of the quorum roll call.
He's added also, for the record, we have Alderman Lamont Robinson added to the roll call as well.
Very well. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing This morning's invocation will be delivered by Alderman Will Hall of the 6th Ward, pastor of St. James Church.
Let's all bow our heads. God, this morning we first of all say thank you. We thank you that you've given us the strength to be in this space. And God, we thank you for this city we call Chicago. Now, God, as we begin to figure things out and work through things, God, we ask that you give us an open heart. God, we pray that you give us wisdom. God, we pray that you give us strength to carry those who entrust in us the responsibility of serving and leading in this city. God, we pray that you watch over our mayor. Watch over him wherever he goes. Bless his family. Touch his wife and children. God, continue to keep them together. And God, we ask now that you give peace. Put love on the agenda. Put kindness on our agenda. And God, wrap your arms around that family that's standing at the grave to say goodbye to a 6-year-old child. May our hearts always be open to care and to love. Even in these times, oh God, use our lights to shine. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. This portion of the meeting is dedicated for public comments.
The council will now begin the public comment period, which is limited to a maximum of 30 minutes. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. Speakers cannot yield or transfer their time to another speaker. Any written comments that have been submitted will be posted and made available for aldermanic review. Our first speaker today is Michael Young Bay.
Gonna picture me. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh man. Trying to see how to address this situation because there's a lot of things that's going on in this city. It don't matter. I can cut it in whatever time it is. I want to know why things are not being did for the Asiatic community. And I say Asiatics because I don't call ourselves black. Words can do 3 things. They can save, create, and they can destroy you. Black, according to science, means deaf. You see, we keep saying black this, black that, and that's what our people out there is getting is deaf. I'm talking to you Asiatics out there. Like y'all see I got on black. Show me a person that look like this so we can get paid, because that'll be the discovery of a lifetime. We got to speak much better. We got to talk much better to each other. We got to show much love to each other. Love is the only savior of the world. But that ain't what's been going on here. That ain't what's been going on in this council. People ain't even standing up to be men or women or their own individuals because they looking at each other and relying on each other and being an influence towards each other instead of making the right choices in life. Because the choices y'all making in here as a law body, y'all are putting people's lives at danger. You're causing confusion by doing things like that. You're causing division, hatred. Every time I come up in here, it's a side here, it's a side there, and it's a side there. You know, when as individuals, as men and women, are you gonna make a stand and choose what's right, the right side, which is justice, which is mercy, which is love? That's which is right. You know, people come in here and they making complaints, and they have valid points. Certain things you have to make a stand on. Because if you can find money in budgets for immigration, why you can't find the money in the budget for the citizens? Why you can't find the money to help the Asiatic communities? You see, where is this money going? People want to know these things. People want to know these answers, Mayor, and all the women and all the men. They want to know these things. And it's fair that you do the right thing by the people, by the citizens. You know, wear your love and compassion for America. Because we all American, we all have just different nationalities. Peace.
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is Zoe Lee.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to talk about on Wednesday, right? Handcuffs was put on me for a public meeting that was supposedly ticketed for the special budgeting event. Cool, right? Got threatened with assault, got threatened with a battery, all of this. Then I see on Friday, the Palestinians turned it up. I mean, fighting the police. Not one person got arrested. So I'm just saying, you know, look at that, Mayor. Just look at that. I don't come from poverty, okay? I come from a very affluent African-American family. I am down here every day almost fighting for justice for my mother's building, not house, commercial building that was demolished, illegally demolished. And not one time have you come to me and sit down with Alderman Moore, who has blocked me, a government official who has blocked me from social media, which is illegal. Okay? This is not how you run government. This is not how you run anything. I've been contemplating about running for office, right? Contemplating, because I know I'm gonna win. I have a big following. I come from a lot of people, a lot of known people. I worked 4 years with Dick Gregory, who in 1958 did the same thing that I did. Start protesting down here at City Hall and marched all the way to Daley's house, and that was in 1958. Fair. That's all I'm asking for is fairness. Be a mayor, sit down, and talk to my mother. You don't even have to talk to me. Talk to my 74-year-old mother and figure out how y'all can find a solution. Because the longer that I got to keep coming down here and dealing with these police, that at the end of the day, I don't even blame them, because it comes from Maya Standback and all of them who are doing these weird illegal things, not letting people into a public meeting, makes you look bad. So you need to sit back with your advisors, read the Constitution, read the Open Meetings Act, and figure out how to make these meetings not a race war, because that's what it's starting to be. And I'm not here for that. I'm here for peace. You see my hat all the time? Paper, peace. That's all I'm for. Figure this out.
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is George Blakemore.
You know, sometimes you got to wave your own flag. Just the audacity that the aldermen didn't want the people to speak at the city council meeting. They say enough is enough at the committee when we're discussing the legislation, not when we approve it. What did Mr. Blakemore do? The attention whore that wants attention. He went to Lisa Manigan, and Lisa Manigan sent him a letter and said no, Rockford doesn't have it. But even I initiated that. Me, I'm an attention whore. I bring attention to the injustice, but somebody else went farther than me. They went, one of these white gay men went to a judge and made them let the people speak. The alderman didn't want to hear the people. So why? You're supposed to serve the people. You're supposed to be public servant, but you are serving yourself. One of the aldermen said, we make $140,000 a year. You're selfish. All of you are selfish. And I initiated where the public, all these hundreds of people that come to this mic and spit in this mic in city council, me. Then I wasn't that old, but that was about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer. I was still an old man. Old, poor, black, and nappy. Initiated that. So I have a legacy here. I am somebody. And each one of you are somebody too, but you act like nobody. You getting paid. I'm not. You're getting paid to serve. I don't. So look at these two now, carrying on a conversation. That's supposed to be ignoring me. Ignoring me. We don't want to hear what Mr. Blakemore has to say. He's a nuisance. He just pops up. Listen here. Listen. You all forget who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be great servants. Servant of the people. Well, the people should kick you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Blakemore, for your comments. Our next speaker is Zakaya Muhammad.
Thank you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Zakiya Muhammad. My message is directly for you, Mayor Brandon Johnson. I am so happy that I have the knowledge to help you house the immigrants. I have already started. I have notified Christina Zayas. Nobody's contacted me. I've spoken with Eric Martinez. Nobody will get back with me. My alderman, who is Lamont Robinson, supports me in my efforts. I have identified 2 high-rise buildings near me where management is interested in housing the African and Haitian immigrants because Africans live in that building. They speak the language. I am a member of Rainbow Push on the Haitian Coalition, where I sponsored 5 Haitians in 1983 who came here fleeing Haiti and landed in Florida, and Reverend Jackson went there. And that is how I got started in working with immigrants. I do think we need a team of people who speak the language of the Haitians and the Africans to come together and make sure their house is getting cold. I see others getting coats. I never see black people getting nothing. And so I'm just trying to say, I think we need a subcommittee to work with the African immigrants and the Haitian immigrants, a subcommittee headed by people that speak their language and get them settled. I have all that information. You, Mr. Mayor, I want to get the directions from you or the people that you appoint to get with me. I can do this. I've done it before. I want to do this. I want to help you. I want to help the city. And I want to help the African and the Haitian immigrants, those that I'm more familiar with helping. Is that all right? Do you agree? Can you help me help them? Please let somebody know before I leave today, because I don't just want to be spinning my wheels and I keep getting ignored. Everybody's been ignoring me. Nobody will get back with me. Return emails, return phone calls. So they say we're overwhelmed. Well, I'm getting ready to take some of that off of them. I've already done my homework. I've done it, and I'm just waiting on somebody to come on. I have 3 interpreters that also speak the language. These Africans are from Mauritania, Sudan, the Republic of the Congo, and the Haitians I know where they're located. I haven't had a chance to talk to but one. But that's what my experience come out of the Haitian Coalition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Your Honor, there are no further speakers who have timely signed up for the public comment period.
Thank you very much. Resolutions. We do not have any resolutions this morning. Next up is communications.
Communications from His Honor the Mayor to the Honorable the City Council of the City of Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Budget Director, I transmit here with the fiscal year 2024 tax levy. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance to be appreciated. Very truly yours, Brendan Johnson, Mayor, for the Committee on Finance. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Budget Director, I transmit here with the 2024 revenue ordinance that amends various titles of the municipal code. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance to be appreciated. Very truly yours, Brendan Johnson, Mayor, for the Committee on Finance. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Budget Director, I transmit here with the resolution amending the salary resolution. Your favorable consideration of this resolution will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Brandon Johnson, Mayor, for the Committee on Budget and Government Operations. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Budget Director, I transmit here with the 2024 management ordinance that amends various titles of municipal code. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Brandon Johnson, Mayor, for the Committee on the Budget and Government Operations. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Corporation Council, I transmit here with the 2024 Municipal Code Corrections Ordinance. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Brendan Johnson, Mayor, for the Committee on the Budget and Government Operations. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Budget Director, I transmit here with an ordinance authorizing the allocation of motor fuel tax funds. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Brandon Johnson, Mayor, for the Committee on the Budget and Government Operations. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Budget Director, I transmit here with an ordinance authorizing the execution of intergovernmental agreement with the Chicago Transit Authority and Cook County for allocation of the motor fuel tax funds. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Brandon Johnson, Mayor. Referred to the Committee on the Budget and Government Operations. I, City Clerk Anna Valencia, hereby inform the City Council that the following documents were filed in my office relating to the respective subjects designated as follows. Office of the Inspector General's report regarding understanding the Chicago Police Department's budget. Office of the Inspector General's third quarter report of the year 2023. I, City Clerk Valencia, also inform the City Council that all those matters which were considered by the City Council's regular meeting held on October 4, 2023, which are required by statute and published in book or pamphlet form or in one or more newspapers were published in pamphlet form on October 16, 2023, by being printed in full text and printed pamphlet copies of the Journal Proceedings of the City Council, City of Chicago. I, City Clerk Valencia, also informed the City Council that all those matters which were considered by the City Council at the regular meeting held on October 6, 2023, required by statute to be published in book or pamphlet form or in one or more newspapers were published in pamphlet form on October 16, 2023, by being printed in full text and printed pamphlet copies of the Journal Proceedings of the City Council, City of Chicago. I, City Clerk Valencia, also informed the City Council that the report of the Committee on Committee and Rules, which were deferred to at the October 11, 2023 City Council meeting was published in pamphlet form on October 16, 2023. City Clerk Valencia also transmit here with the following miscellaneous communications and reports requiring City Council action. Claims against the City of Chicago, which referred to the Committee on Finance, correction of September 14, 2023 City Council Journal Proceedings. Your Honor, that concludes the reports and communications from the Mayor and other city offices. Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. There are a number of alders that wish to be added as part of the quorum roll call.
Would anyone else like to be added? Alderman Silverstein, Alderman Curtis, Alderman Gardner, Alderman Ramirez-Rosa, Alderwoman Mitz, Alderman Cardona. Anyone else wish to be added to the roll call quorum? I got him. Anyone else? Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Committee reports. The Chair recognizes our Housing Chairman, Sigcho Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the City Council. Reporting for your Committee on Housing and Real Estate, which held an in-person meeting on October 10th of 2023. The committee has a series of reports recommending passage of 14 ordinances. These include various agreements and land sales. Item 1 is the lease of vacant firehouse at 11954 South State Street to Rescue Aid Education and Training Division, Inc., to provide emergency response training, public safety preparedness, and youth empowerment in the 9th Ward. I request a roll call of all the members present today that form quorum for the passage of this item.
Thank you very much. Before we do that, Alderman Hopkins, we would Madam or Mr. Clerk, could we please add Alderman Hopkins as a part of the quorum roll call? Members, please use the e-vote application to record your vote at this time.
Give us 1 second. We're adding the individuals who hadn't been added yet for attendance purposes.
Chair recognizes Alderman Villegas.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to see if the housing chairman can have his staff circulate the housing report.
Chair recognizes Chairman Sigcho Lopez.
The housing report should have been provided electronically. We can submit a written copy when by the committee.
Thank you very much. It's been submitted electronically, and you will do a follow-up?
Yep.
Thank
we'll
you very
follow
much,
up in
Chairman.
writing.
Is it open, Peter? Okay. Take a minute. You're fine. Open. Okay, ready? Good. Talk to me, Peter. Okay, voting is now open. Please hit refresh. Thank you. Cardona. Okay, Stacy's getting it.
For all those that not have voted using the e-vote application, I will take a voice vote. Alderman Robinson, not present. Alderwoman Gutierrez, not present. Alderwoman Coleman, not present. Alderwoman Taylor, not present. Alderman Moore. Alderman Moore is an aye. Alderman Mosley, not present. Alderman Rodriguez, not present.
Aye.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Alderman Rodriguez is an aye. Alderman Sposato is not present. Okay, does anyone else walk in? Okay. The voting is now closed.
Thank you very much. We have 43 yeas, 0 nays. This matter has passed. Alderman Mitchell, on a motion to reconsider.
Mr. President, I move to reconsider the vote.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed say no. The motion has failed. Chair recognizes Chairman Sigcho Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Item number 2 is an intergovernmental agreement with the Chicago Park District to expand Ronan Park with tax increment financing TIF funds, which were approved by City Council in 2022, and transfer of 7 parcels at 4815, 4823, 4827 North Sacramento Avenue, and at 2902, 2940, 2944, and 2954 West Lawrence Avenue. I move passage of this item by the first most favorable roll call vote on the Committee on Housing and Real Estate, an unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
The following negotiated land sales are grouped for convenience. Under item number 3 is a negotiated sale of city-owned property improved with former firehouse at 2358 South Whipple Street to the National Museum of Mexican Art, conditioned on execution of redevelopment agreement to establish a community center for art programming. Item number 4, a negotiated sale of city-owned property at 4032 South Michigan Avenue to Hyde Park Self-Storage, Inc. Item number 5, sale of vacant city-owned property at 1232 to 1234 West 81st Street to Sidney Michelle Battle under the Adjacent Neighbors Land Acquisition Program. Item number 6 is a sale of vacant city-owned property at 1411 West 70th Street to LaWanda Kelly under Adjacent Neighbor Land Acquisition Program. Item number 7 is a sale of vacant city-owned property at 6803 South Justin Street to Brandy Allen under Adjacent Neighbors Land Acquisition Program. Item number 8 is a sale of vacant city-owned property at 7507 South May Street to Zachary Jones under Adjacent Neighbors Land Acquisition Program. Item number 9, sale of vacant city-owned property at 11479 South Church Street to Julius Strong and Claudia Strong under Adjacent Neighbors Land Acquisition Program. Item number 10 is a sale of vacant city-owned property at 5009 South Wabash Avenue to Shelton Edward under Adjacent Neighbors Land Acquisition Program. Item 11 is a sale of city-owned property, 5656 South Calumet Avenue, to Carol Crenshaw under Adjacent Neighbors Land Acquisition Program. Item 12, sale of city-owned property at 534 West 61st Street to George Floyd under Adjacent Neighbor Land Acquisition Program. Item 13 is a sale of vacant city-owned property at 5819 South Wabash Avenue to Jesus Negron under Adjacent Neighbors Land Acquisition Program. Item 14, sale of vacant city-owned property at 12040 South Michigan Avenue to David Lomax under Adjacent Neighbors Land Acquisition Program. I move passage of these items by the same motion.
Thank you very much. Hearing no objections, seeing no hands, so ordered.
Finally, one item from our posted agenda was voted to be held in committee to allow for further community input in the 21st Ward. Mr. President, this concludes my report.
Thank you very much. For pedestrian and traffic safety, this committee, chaired by Chairman Laspada. The chair recognizes Chairman Laspada.
Thank you, Mr. President. Reporting for your committee on pedestrian and traffic safety, for which a meeting was held on Thursday, October 5th, 2023. Before the committee, there were 548 items. There were 547 routine traffic items that passed and one amendment to Chapter 9-68 of the Municipal Code of Chicago, establishing new River North Street nightlife corridor permit parking in the 42nd Ward that also passed. If there are no objections, I move passage of these items by the first most favorable roll call vote from the Committee on Housing and Real Estate and the associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider the vote.
Seeing no hands, hearing no objections, so ordered.
That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Chairman. For the Committee on Police and Fire, this is chaired by Taliaferro. The chair recognizes Chairman Taliaferro.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the City Council. Reported for your Committee on Police and Fire, for which a meeting was held on October 13, 2023. The committee recommends the passage of the following. Ordinance 2023-1993, a communication recommending the renewal of intergovernmental master agreement with mutual aid box alarm system for coordinated responses to disasters and emergencies through a prearranged mutual aid and dispatch agreement. If there are no objections, Mr. President, I move the passage of this item by the first most favorable vote in the Committee on Housing and the associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Thank you for the summary, Chairman. Seeing no hands and hearing no objections, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. President. That concludes my report.
Thank you. For the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building and Standards, this is chaired by Alderman Ramirez Rosa. The chair recognizes Chairman Ramirez Rosa.
Mr. President, members of the City Council, presenting a series of reports for Chicago's Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards, which held a meeting on October 12, 2023. These reports are grouped together for convenience, and the following items were passed by a majority of the members present. Page 1 contains the historical landmark designation for the Eugenie Lane Apartments located at 235 West Eugenie Street in the 2nd Ward. I move passage of this item by the last most favorable roll call vote for the Housing and Real Estate Report and the associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Page 1 also contains one historical landmark fee waiver in the 4th Ward. I move passage of this item by the same motion if there is no objection.
There are seeing or hearing no objection, so ordered.
Pages 1 through 9 contain various map amendments in the 6th, 9th, 11th, 13th, 16th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 31st, 32nd, 36th, 40th, 41st, 43rd, 45th, and 50th wards. I move passage of these items by the same motion if there is no objection.
Seeing no hands, hearing no objection, so ordered.
Lastly, page 9 contains various large signs over 100 square feet in area, 24 feet above grade, in the 2nd, 3rd, 11th, 19th, 27th, 28th, 32nd, 41st, 42nd, 43rd, 48th, and 50th wards. I move passage of these items by the same motion if there is no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Finally, there was a joint committee on environmental protection and energy and public safety. Those respective chairpersons, Hopkins as well as Hatton. My understanding is that Chairwoman Hatton will do the report out. The chair recognizes Chairwoman Hatton.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the City Council. Reporting for your Joint Committee on Environmental Protection and Energy and Public Safety, which held a meeting on October 13th, 2023. That also happened on Friday, in case we forgot. The Joint Committee had one report and recommends passage of the following item. Item 1 is a resolution, R 2023-0002-925, calling for a subject matter hearing on a recent extreme flooding events and the city's response and mitigation efforts. I move passage of this item by the first favorable roll call of the Committee on Housing and Real Estate and associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objections, seeing no hands, so ordered.
Thank you. Mr. President, this concludes my report.
Thank you very much. For the agreed upon calendar, Chair recognizes Alderwoman Harris.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, we have no agreed upon calendar.
Very good, thank you. For new business, the Chair recognizes Alderwoman Taylor.
Good morning, Mr. President. I'll be like to add it to roll call and the first favorable vote.
Thank you very much. Could you please add Alderwoman Taylor to the quorum roll call as well as the most favorable aye vote as an aye? Was there anyone else? The chair recognizes Alderman Robinson.
Please, on the first item on the agenda, if you could please mark me aye, please. Thank you.
Please mark Alderman Robinson as an aye. The chair recognizes Alderman Hall.
On the first item, aye as well.
Please add Alderman Hall as an aye on the first item. The chair recognizes Alderwoman Stephanie Coleman.
Thank you, Mr. President. For sake of quorum, clerk, please add me to the roll as well as aye on the first.
Please add Alderwoman Coleman to the quorum roll call as well as an aye vote. At this point, we will now usher into new business. The clerk will call the wards, beginning with the first ward.
Zoning amendments referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Traffic regulations, traffic control signals, and traffic signs, which are referred to the Committee on Pedestrian and Traffic Safety. Grants of privilege over the public way, which are referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Exemption from physical barrier requirement for commercial driveway alley access, which is referred to the Committee on Pedestrian, which is referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Alderman Lopez has a proposed ordinance for amendment of Municipal Code, Chapter 8-16, to establish prohibitions and penalties for minors who violate curfew, engage in drag racing, flipping of cars, intoxication, and use of paintball guns, which is referred to the Committee on Public Safety. Alderman Fuentes has a proposed ordinance for exemption from the physical barrier requirement for commercial driveway alley access for Gerber collision, which is referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. And two more ordinances for exemption from physical barrier requirements, which is referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Alderman Fuentes also has a proposed resolution to call for federal government to expand parole and issuance of work permits, which is referred to the Committee on Immigrant and Refugee Rights. Alderman Telefiero has a proposed resolution to call to rename Conference Room 201A as the Honorable Harold Washington Meeting Room, which is referred to the Committee on Committees and Rules. And Alderman Spizzato has proposed ordinance for exemption from the physical barrier requirement, commercial driveway alley access for Gerber Collision and Glass, which is referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Your Honor, that concludes the presentation of aldermanic introductions.
Thank you very much. Before we move for the approval of the journals, Chair recognizes Hopkins and Mosley, both of whom wish to be added as aye votes for the first favorable vote. Alderman Mitchell for the approval of the journals.
Mr. President, I'm not aware of any corrections to the journals from the October 4th, 2023 and October 6th, 2023 regular meetings. I move that they be approved.
Hearing no objections, so ordered. For unfinished business, Alderman Mitchell.
Mr. President, I'm aware of one piece of unfinished business. It was filed by Chairman Harris and calls for votes on a series of items which were deferred and published on October 11, 2023.
Thank you very much. The chair recognizes Chairwoman Harris.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm aware of one piece of unfinished business that calls for a vote on a series of items that were deferred and published on October 11, 2023. The committee recommends that items 1 through 7 of the Rules 41 notice be re-referred to the Committee on Finance. I move approval of these recommendations by the first most favorable roll call vote of the Committee on Housing and Real Estate and the associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
The committee, thank you, Mr. President. The committee recommends that item 8 on the Rule 41 notice be re-referred to the Committee on Aviation. An ordinance authorizing the execution of an amended lease agreement with Chicago Concourse Development Group, LLC, in Wards 41 and 13. I move approval of the recommendation that item 8 be re-referred to the Committee on Aviation by the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objections, Chair recognizes Alderwoman Helu Gutierrez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to be recorded as present and also voted yes in the first item, please.
And I'm going to remind our members that when we address the floor, I'm going to ask you to please stand to your feet.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You've been added. Please, with your motion again.
I move approval of the recommendation of item 8 be re-referred to the Committee on Aviation by the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
The committee recommends that item 9 of the Rule 41 notice be re-referred to the Committee on Budget and Government Operations. A 925 budget amendment, I move approval of the recommendation that item 9 be re-referred to the Committee on Budget and Government Relations by the same motion if there are no objections.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
The committee recommends that item 10 through 20 of the Rule 41 notice be re-referred to the Committee on Economic, Capital, and Technology Development. Items number 10 through 20 are an ordinance authorizing a Class 6B tax incentive for properties located at 5740 North Tripp and a series of ordinances and appointments regarding the administration of various SSAs in Ward 9, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 33, 39, 40, 43, 46, 47, 48, and 49. The committee recommends that these items be re-referred to the Committee on Economics, Capital, and Technology Development. I move approval of this recommendation by the same motion if there's no objections.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
The committee recommends that items 21 of the Rule 41 notice be re-referred to the Committee on Environmental Protection and Energy, an ordinance amending the code regarding radiation monitoring to be moved to the Cryptonic Moratorium Area 4-02023-4939. I move approval of the recommendation that this item 21 be re-referred to the Committee on Economic Protection and Energy by the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
The committee recommends that item 22 to 25 of the Rule 41 notice be re-referred to the Committee on Health and Human Relations. Items 22 to 25 are various appointments to Advisory Council of the New Americans Equity, LGBTQ+ issues, and veterans. The committee recommends that all these items be re-referred to the Committee on Health and Human Relations. I move approval of these recommendations by the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
The committee recommends that items 26 to 32 of the Rule 41 notice be re-referred to the Committee of Housing and Real Estate. Items 26 and 27 are a lease renewal agreement with the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois. Item 28 is an ordinance authorizing the acquisition of property located at 11414 South State Street. Item 29 and 30 are negotiated sales of city-owned property at 4301, 4309, 4329 West Madison for a health and wellness center, and at 5349 Wabash Street to the Black Fire Brigade organization respectively. Item 31 is an ordinance authorizing the execution of a land acquisition agreement with the Chicago Park District, Robert Jackson Park at 4319 South Indiana. And item 32 is an ordinance authorizing the execution of a land disposition intergovernmental agreement with the Chicago Transit Authority for the Red Line Extension Project. The committee recommends that item 26 through 32 be re-referred to the Committee on Housing and Real Estate. I move approval of these recommendations by the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
The committee recommends that item 33 of the Rule 41 notice be re-referred to the Committee of Public Safety. A resolution calling for the Committee on Public Safety to hold hearings on Chicago Police Department's use of technology in policing, R2023-2815. I move approval of the recommendation that item 33 be re-referred to the Committee on Public Safety by the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
The committee recommends that item 34 of the Rule 41 notice be re-referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. The ordinance authorizing the execution of infrastructure agreement for Leclerc Courts redevelopment project in the 22nd Ward, 023-5070. I move approval of the recommendation that item 34 be re-referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way by the first motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
That concludes my report.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Chair recognizes Alderman Mitchell. Are you aware of any other further unfinished business?
I am not aware of any further unfinished business.
So we've determined the suit color of Alderman Hall today? That has been determined? Very good. Since you are not aware of any other further unfinished business, we will move on. Miscellaneous business. Alderman Mitchell.
Mr. President, I'm not aware of any miscellaneous business.
Very well. Okay, and then finally, for the date and time for the next meeting, Alderman Mitchell.
I've handed up an ordinance to the clerk setting the date and time of the next meeting.
Madam Clerk, please read the ordinance.
Section 1, the next regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Chicago shall be held on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, beginning at 10 a.m. in the Council Chamber on the second floor in City Hall, 121 North LaSalle Street, Chicago, Illinois. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. Gregory Mitchell, Alderman, 7th Ward.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Alderman Mitchell.
I move passage in the omnibus.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. For the omnibus, Alderman Mitchell.
I move that matters in the omnibus be passed by the first most favorable roll call vote by the Committee on Housing and the associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Alderman Mitchell on the motion to adjourn.
Mr. President, there being no further business before this body, I move that we adjourn.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. This meeting is adjourned.